Have you ever met someone in their 90s who seems to have more energy than people half their age? Maybe they're still gardening, dancing, or laughing with friends like they've discovered some secret fountain of youth. Well, what if I told you there is a secret, or rather, a handful of simple, everyday habits that many of the world's healthiest 90-year-olds share? And the best part? These habits aren't complicated diets or grueling workouts. They're small, joyful choices that anyone can start making today, no matter your age or fitness level. Now, I know what you might be thinking. At my age, can I really make a difference in how I feel? Let me tell you, yes, absolutely. Science shows that even tiny changes to our daily routines can add years to our lives and life to our years. So today, let's explore these habits together. Think of it as borrowing a page from the playbook of those who've mastered the art of thriving, decade after decade. Let's start with something so simple, yet so powerful, that it's often overlooked: movement. Not marathons or weightlifting, mind you, just gentle, consistent motion. Take Hiroshi, a 94-year-old from Okinawa, Japan, who starts every morning with a stroll through his vegetable garden. Rain or shine, he's bending, stretching, and walking for at least 20 minutes. He says it's not about exercise. It's about staying connected to the rhythm of life. And researchers agree. Daily movement, even in small doses, strengthens muscles, boosts mood, and keeps joints flexible. The key? Find what feels good. Maybe it's a walk around the block, a slow dance to your favorite song, or even chair yoga. The goal isn't to push yourself. It's to enjoy yourself. Now, here's a habit that might surprise you: prioritizing laughter. Not just any laughter, though. The kind that comes from sharing stories, jokes, or even gentle teasing with people you care about. Let me tell you about Maria, a 91-year-old in Sardinia, Italy, who hosts a weekly coffee and gossip hour with her neighbors. She says those mornings, filled with espresso, homemade biscuits, and hearty laughs, are her medicine, and she's onto something. Studies show that strong social connections reduce stress, sharpen memory, and even strengthen the immune system. But here's the catch. It's not about the number of friends you have. It's about the quality of those moments. A phone call with a grandchild, a card game with a neighbor, or even a friendly wave to the mail carrier. These small interactions add up to a big dose of joy. Now, I know life can sometimes feel quieter as the years go by. People move away, routines change. It's natural. But here's what the healthiest 90-year-olds understand. Staying connected isn't about clinging to the past. It's about embracing the present. Take a lesson from my friend, George, who, at 93, started a weekly trivia night at his retirement community. He told me, "You're never too old to make a new friend or learn something silly." And that's the spirit, isn't it? Whether it's joining a local club, volunteering, or simply smiling at a stranger. These moments of connection remind us we're never truly alone. So, if you take nothing else from today, remember this. Moving your body and nurturing your relationships aren't just items on a checklist. They're invitations to live, to savor the simple pleasures that make each day worth waking up for. And the beautiful thing? These two habits lay the groundwork for everything else. Because when you move with joy and connect with purpose, you're already building a life that's not just longer, but fuller. You know, after spending years talking to folks who've celebrated their 90th birthdays with gusto, I've noticed something wonderful. Many of them treat their meals like celebrations, not restrictions, not guilt trips, just pure, simple enjoyment of real, nourishing food. Take Hiroshi, our friend from Okinawa, the one who starts his day in the garden. Well, guess what he does right after that stroll? He sits down to a bowl of steaming miso soup, packed with fresh vegetables he's grown himself. And here's the thing. It's not just about what he eats, but how he eats. Slowly, mindfully, savoring every bite. He once told me, "Food isn't fuel, it's a gift from the earth. Why rush it?" Now, I'm not saying you need to grow all your own veggies or become a gourmet chef. The secret here is intentionality. Think of it like this. Every meal is a chance to care for your body. Scientists studying blue zones, places where people live the longest, have found that the healthiest seniors eat mostly plants, beans, leafy greens, whole grains, and nuts. But here's the twist. They also indulge. A glass of wine with friends, a piece of dark chocolate, a slice of birthday cake. The difference? They enjoy these treats mindfully, not mindlessly. So, how can you start? Try this. Next time you sit down to eat, take a moment to appreciate the colors on your plate. Chew slowly. Put your fork down between bites. It's not a diet. It's a love letter to yourself. And speaking of mindfulness, let's talk about a habit that's quieter, but just as powerful. Feeding your curiosity. Meet Clara, a 92-year-old from Iowa, who starts every morning with what she calls her brain coffee, a crossword puzzle, and 10 minutes of reading poetry aloud. She says it wakens up the wrinkles in her mind. Now, Clara isn't trying to win a Nobel Prize. She's simply giving her brain gentle, daily exercise. And research shows that lifelong learning can delay memory decline and even boost creativity. But here's the best part. Curiosity doesn't require a classroom. It could be learning to identify birds in your backyard, trying a new recipe, or even asking your grandkids to teach you a TikTok dance. Though maybe start with the sitting down version, Clara's secret. She pairs her brain time with something pleasurable. That cup of coffee, her favorite cozy chair, the morning sunlight streaming in. It's not about adding another chore to your day. It's about weaving little moments of discovery into what you already enjoy. Maybe it's listening to a podcast while knitting or watching a documentary about a place you've never visited. The goal isn't to master something new. It's to stay engaged, to keep that spark of wonder alive. After all, isn't curiosity what makes us feel truly young? Now, I know change can feel daunting, especially if routines have been years in the making. But remember Hiroshi and Clara. They didn't overhaul their lives overnight. They started small. A handful of seeds planted, one crossword puzzle savored with a morning cup. And bit by bit, those choices became second nature. So why not pick one thing to try this week? Maybe swap out a processed snack for a handful of almonds and a few juicy berries. Or dust off that old Sudoku book and let yourself laugh at the wrong answers. Progress, not perfection, is the mantra here. Because here's the truth. Aging well isn't about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. And every time you choose nourishing food over rushed meals or curiosity over complacency, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. And trust me, my friend, the best is yet to come. You know, one thing I've learned from chatting with folks who've lived 9 decades or more is this. They wake up each morning with a reason to throw back the covers. Not just a routine, but a real sense of purpose. Something that makes their heart feel light and their day feel meaningful. Take Clara, our trivia-loving friend from earlier. At 93, she's the unofficial birthday ambassador at her retirement community. Every month, she hand-paints cards for residents, slipping in a joke or a memory they've shared. She told me, "Making someone smile is my morning coffee. It warms me from the inside out." Scientists call this having an ikigai, a Japanese term that roughly means a reason for being. In Okinawa, where Hiroshi tends his garden, elders often live by this idea. It's not about grand achievements or ticking off bucket lists. It's about the small, daily acts that make you feel alive. For some, it's caring for a pet. For others, it's mentoring a grandchild or tending a windowsill herb garden. The key is to find what you love, what makes you lean forward, not back. And here's the magic. Studies show that having a sense of purpose can lower stress, sharpen your mind, and even add years to your life. But you don't need a lab coat to tell you that, do you? We've all felt that spark when we're doing something that matters to us. Now, let me tell you about Rosa, a 96-year-old in Costa Rica who starts her day by feeding the stray cats in her village. She names each one, leaves fresh water in chipped teacups, and says it's her way of giving back to the world that's been so good to her. Rosa's ikigai isn't complicated. It's a quiet, joyful ritual. And that's the beauty of it. Your purpose doesn't have to shout. It can whisper. Maybe it's writing letters to old friends, organizing family photos, or sharing stories with the cashier at your grocery store. The trick is to ask yourself, what makes me feel needed? What brings me joy that I can give to others? But here's something just as important as purpose. Something the healthiest 90-year-olds guard as fiercely as a treasure. Rest. Not just sleep, though that's vital, but true, deep rejuvenation. Let me introduce you to Samuel, a 91-year-old jazz musician in New Orleans. After decades of late-night gigs, he's perfected the art of the afternoon pause. Every day at 3 p.m., he sits in his porch swing with a glass of iced tea, closes his eyes, and lets the world drift by for 20 minutes. No radio, no phone, just the hum of cicadas and the creak of the swing. He calls it his daily reset button. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Rest? I've got plenty of that. But here's the catch. Rest isn't the same as inactivity. It's about intentional renewal. Think of it like this. Your body and mind are like a vintage pocket watch, beautifully crafted, but they need moments to unwind. Research on centenarians shows that many prioritize short, regular breaks throughout the day. A 10-minute nap here, a quiet moment with a book there. It's not laziness, it's wisdom. Because when you balance purpose with peace, you're not just burning energy, you're replenishing it. So how can you weave more of this into your days? Start small. Maybe it's savoring your morning tea on the patio instead of in front of the TV, or setting a quiet hour where you unplug from screens and let your mind wander. If naps aren't your thing, try deep breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Samuel swears by it. Slows the world down, he says, so I can keep up with it. Purpose and rest, two sides of the same coin. One fuels your fire. The other keeps it burning steady. And together, they create a rhythm that's not just sustainable but joyful. Because living a long life isn't about racing against time. It's about dancing with it, sometimes twirling, sometimes swaying, always listening to the music only you can hear. Let's tie this all together with one final thread, something every vibrant 90-year-old I've met shares. They practice gratitude like it's oxygen. Not the grand, sweeping kind, but the quiet, daily sort. Take Elena, a 95-year-old in Nicoya, Costa Rica, who ends every day by writing one sentence in a worn leather journal. Today, I'm thankful for. Some days, it's as simple as the smell of rain on dry soil, or my granddaughter's laugh. Other days, when life feels heavy, she writes, I'm thankful this day is over. And that's okay. Gratitude isn't about ignoring life's struggles. It's about not letting them drown out the good. Science backs this up too. Studies show that gratitude rewires our brains to notice joy more easily, like training a muscle. But you don't need a journal unless you want one. It could be pausing before bed to name one thing that made you smile, or thanking the bus driver who holds the door a little longer. My neighbor Frank, who's 89, starts his morning by thanking his body out loud. Thanks, legs, for carrying me. Thanks, hands, for holding my coffee. Silly? Maybe. But he's still gardening, still traveling, still living now. Let's take a step back. What do all these habits really have in common? Choice. The choice to move even when it's easier to sit. The choice to connect even when loneliness whispers. The choice to savor, to wonder, to rest, to say thank you even on ordinary days. These aren't rules, they're invitations. Invitations to show up for yourself, exactly as you are, right here, right now. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, thinking, how can I possibly do all of this? Here's my answer. You don't have to. Start with one tiny thing. Plant one herb in a pot and watch it grow. Call an old friend and laugh about that time you both got lost in 73. Sit in silence for 5 minutes and listen to your own breath. This isn't a race. It's a slow, beautiful stroll toward the life you deserve. And remember, you're not just doing this for yourself. You're setting an example for everyone who loves you. Your kids, your grandkids, your friends, they're watching. They're learning what it means to age with grace, grit, and joy. So every time you choose kindness, curiosity, or a good laugh, you're giving them permission to do the same. Before we go, I'd love to hear from you. What's one small habit you'll try this week? Share it in the comments. Inspire someone else with your courage. And if this video resonated with you, pass it along to a friend. We're all in this together after all. Here's to you, to your strength, your wisdom, and the countless small, good days ahead. Thank you for spending this time with me. Now go out there and live your story. I'll be cheering for you every step of the way.